Hi, it's Nicola Humbert here of nicolahumbert.com, and today I want to share a tapping routine using emotional freedom technique that I've created because I was inspired by this month's book in the Wealth Consciousness book club, which is a free book club that I run over on Facebook. And this month the book we're looking at is Overcoming Under-Earning by Barbara Stanny. It's a fantastic book with lots of exercises that you can work through to help you to break through to a new income level. So it very much ties in with the work that I do as a holistic money coach. And I was reading through the first chapter this morning and working through the exercises. And one of the things that Barbara Stanny encourages the reader to do is to set some financial goals at the beginning of the process. And then she goes on to talk about how when you're starting to create change in your life and to step into a new way of being, you're likely to get your inner critic, and I'm going like this because that's what my inner critic does. Your inner critic kind of coming in and coming up with kind of limiting beliefs, negative statements. Those voices that you've heard throughout the years, maybe from people in your family, your school, culture in general, that tell you it's just not possible for you to create what you want to create in your life. Okay, so it's very likely that when you're going through a process of change and growth that your inner critic will step in and start trying to keep you safe, really, keep you in your comfort zone. So what Barbara Stanny encourages you to do is just to be aware of what your inner critic is saying, but also to think about what kind of your higher self, your authentic voice, as she calls it, that more loving, accepting part of you, the kind of things that that part of you would say, the more positive, resourceful statements. So I was doing some journaling on this earlier and could think of lots of things that my inner critic would be saying about my particular goals that I was setting for myself. And I was writing them all down and then writing down kind of what my more authentic voice, my more loving, accepting part of me would say. There was such a contrast there, and I thought it'd be really helpful to take the process a step further and actually to do some tapping around this. Because when we use tapping, emotional freedom technique, what we can do is shift old limiting beliefs. Okay, so the kind of things your inner critic would say, and we can tap in new, empowering, kind of more resourceful, positive beliefs. Okay, so the kind of thing your authentic voice would say. So that's what I want to share with you today is a tapping routine. It's specifically around financial goals and the kind of thing your inner critic might be saying about you wanting to create more abundance in your life. So we'll start off by tapping on some of those limiting beliefs, those negative statements that may come from your inner critic. And then we'll start tapping into the more positive statements. And that's the wonderful thing about EFT. It's so flexible. You can use it to tap away stuff you want to release, and you can also use it to tap in stuff, kind of affirmations, more positive beliefs, more supportive beliefs. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you've never used emotional freedom technique before. I will guide you through. We're going to be tapping on some different parts of the body. So just follow me, watch the video, and just repeat the statements after me that I'm making. They may not all apply to you, but that's fine. Very often when we're tapping along with somebody else, we may be clearing something we're not even aware of. So just repeat the words after me. And then you can always do some more tapping that's actually more specific to you. Okay, but let's just get started anyway. So we're going to start off by tapping on the karate chop point, which is where we always begin. And we're going to say something called the setup statement. Okay, so like I said, just repeat after me and tap around as we go. So even though I have this negative inner critical voice, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this voice in my head that says, who are you to do that? That inner critic that always seems to be there. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though when I think about creating more abundance in my life, I can hear my inner critic saying, who are you kidding? You're just a fraud. And saying, I'll never be able to do that. I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Okay, so we're going to tap around the rest of the points now. So starting here, and again, just tapping around and repeating the words after me. My inner critic. All of these critical statements about the goals I'm setting for myself. Telling me I can't do it. Saying, who am I to want more? And that I'm kidding myself thinking I can achieve that. My inner critic. That nagging, doubting voice in my mind. That tells me I'm just being greedy. That I'm kidding myself. I should be ashamed of myself for wanting more. That's what my inner critic says. And that I'll never be able to do it anyway. So why bother trying? That negative, critical voice in my mind that makes me question myself. And maybe I can choose to listen to another part of me now. Maybe I can choose to listen to my authentic voice. That part of me that's more loving and accepting. That part of me that supports me in achieving my goals. Choosing to listen to that encouraging voice within me that says, yes, I can do this. I can create abundance in my life. That tells me I can do this. That authentic voice within me that's telling me I have all the resources I need to achieve my goals. That it's possible for me to create that abundance. That I can create more abundance and love in my life. That money is a loving energy. And it's okay for me to want and receive more. So I'm choosing to listen to that more loving, accepting part of me now. I choose to listen to my authentic voice as I move joyfully towards creating my financial goals. Just take a deep breath in and out. Fantastic. And just notice how you feel afterwards, after doing those couple of rounds of tapping. And also notice if any of those statements that I used particularly resonated with you. And actually it'd be great to hear from you if any of them did in particular. And what you can do is you can carry on tapping in the same way. It'd be really useful for you to do some journaling on your kind of inner critic and the kind of things that part of you saying, and also the kind of things that your more loving, authentic voice is saying. And you can kind of create your own tapping routine very simply. Okay. It's a good process to do whenever you're setting yourself some new goals, whether they're financial goals or whether you're trying to create any other kind of change in your life. You can use something similar. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope you found it useful. If you have, then like I said, please comment below this video. It'd be great to hear from you. And you can find more tapping videos over on my website, nicolahumber.com. I would love to see you over there. Okay, that's it for today, and happy tapping.